Well, welcome to the best party of the year. You can tell I've already been enjoying myself, lost my voice. Well, it's gonna suit. I have something more serious to say than Christina. You know, amidst all this good feeling, what could possibly be wrong? And sadly, I have to tell you, we're a house divided. And looking around, you might think I'm talking about religious division. After all, in this room, Catholics, Jews, Hindus, Muslims, Mormons, Sikhs, Protestants, and those professing no religion. But in fact, our house is not divided on these lines. I think you'll find a delightful harmony among the religious boundaries in this room. So maybe I'm talking about political divisions. After all, in the room I'm sure Bernie Sanders fans, or Hillary Clinton, or Donald Trump, or anyone but Trump. But no, there's no political walls that divide our house. I'm not even talking about that most fundamental division, the one that trumps religion and politics, the division between lawyers and non-lawyers. No, the division I'm talking about is the one that divides pessimists from optimists. That's right, the doom and gloom folks from the happy fools. Now, I'm on the side of the happy fools, but I understand the concerns of my gloomy friends, Rusty Ed, etc. I won't name them. These are certainly troubled times. Religious liberty is only secure when Americans value religion and treasure liberty. But today, both parts of the equation are under pressure. Anti-religious sentiment has moved from the fashionable salons to the center of power. Increasingly, our dominant institutions, government, corporate, and media, they cast religion as a problem and religious liberty as a guilty accomplice. And this condemnation of religion is ominous. But the rejection of our core liberties is just as worrisome. Free speech is under dramatic assault on our college campuses. It has as its silent partner the crime of the steady erosion of academic freedom. And intellectual conformity has shifted from being simply a fashion to an absolute requirement for life on campus. Well, I have to say, for us foolish optimists, all that bad news is just opportunity knocking. When we all know arrogance leads to overreach, and those who seek to suppress religion find themselves facing the Becket Fund. In the last 4 years, we've had our lawyers win 4 Supreme Court victories. And they have extended our decades-long 90% winning streak in the lower courts. That's good news. But here's another happy thought from the optimist camp. The attack on liberty is increasing unity where there was once division. And the proof is in the room here tonight. The religious cooperation evident at this party is unprecedented in American history. So we may remain divided, we certainly are divided on many doctrinal matters, but we are united in our defense of freedom. It's hard to say, but just as remarkable as this growing unity between religious liberty lovers and liberty enthusiasts in general. So the founding fathers had put freedom of press, freedom of speech in the same constitutional amendment as freedom of religion. But in the modern day, that sentiment faded. And for decades, it's been liberty a la carte, picking and choosing which one you like. The rising tide of illiberalism is changing this. So more and more, the Becket Fund finds allies in the broader liberty movement, and many of them, I'm glad to say, are in the room tonight, and I sincerely welcome all of them. So that's the Great Divide. Gloomy pessimists fearing the rise of hostility to religion and liberty, and the cheerful optimists praising the unity that comes from adversity. Can a house so divided stand? Well, here, the Canterbury Medal Dinner is where we bridge this great divide. Here is where we set aside the shallow sentiments of both the optimists and the pessimists. Instead, tonight we celebrate something far more enduring. Tonight, we bridge the differences by celebrating courage. Courage is the foundation for all virtue. It's what makes all the virtues possible. Courage turns our hope, rooted in our faith in God, into action. Courage allows us to see that our enemies are not strong, they're brittle. Their arrogance is not a sign of strength, it's a sign of fear. Most importantly, courage is contagious, and that's why we hold the Canterbury Dinner. We gather to take courage from each other. And so to that end, we filled the room with courageous people. And after dinner, we'll applaud as a man of great courage, Professor Elie Wiesel awards our Canterbury Medal to another hero, Ambassador Armando Valladares. Courage is truly courageous. And in the presence of heroes like this, all of us will be strengthened. So it's fitting that I'm going to end my comments, dinner's on the way after all, by introducing our dinner chairs. So Tony and Christy DeNicola, I consider models of moral courage. It's their religious faith, their Catholic faith, that prompted them to support Catholic education, which in turn led them to generously support education for the poor. And in encountering the many barriers to helping the poor, Christy and Tony DeNicola became fierce advocates for educational freedom for all. And that they demonstrate by their actions the courage to fight for their religious belief, to fight for religious liberty, and to fight for the liberty of all Americans. And I'm grateful for their support for this Canterbury Medal Dinner and for their work over many, many years. Christy and Tony are modest people, but we captured them. We got them on video, and let me hear it from their own mouths.